It's Fernando Ruiz Art.
Hi everybody. Today we're going to go on some new ground for me. So I'm going to draw a character, and this comes from a Facebook post from a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, the legendary Gene Lantern, my buddy Gene Cahill, who's actually one of my first bosses. I worked for Gene when he was the manager of Time Warp Comics and Games in Cedar Grove, New Jersey. So one of my first jobs was working in a comic shop. It was my first taste of the comic book industry. So Gene posted, he asked a question, if I've ever drawn any of the Harvey Comics characters. Now, those of you longtime comic fans will know Harvey Comics. Back when I was a kid growing up in the 70s and very early 80s, we didn't have a big two in terms of the comic book industry. It wasn't just Marvel and DC. It was actually the big four. And the four big companies around were Marvel, DC, and of course Archie and Harvey Comics. And Harvey, they're the ones who had the characters like Casper the Friendly Ghost, Hot Stuff, the Little Devil, who's another favorite of mine, and the guy we're drawing today, one of my favorites, Richie Rich. Now, Richie Rich, believe it or not, when he was out there, he was really out there. Richie Rich was probably one of the most successful, if not the most successful character that Harvey had going. Richie Rich, he must have had, without exaggeration, about 30 monthly titles. They were Richie Rich Millions, Richie Rich Profits, Richie Rich Billions and Zillions, and also, they all had money-themed titles. And they were largely interchangeable. Most of the, Richie Rich Dollars and Cents, Richie Rich Profits, Richie Rich Bank Books, they were largely, they didn't really have a theme. There were some Richie Rich books that did have a theme, especially the ones that regularly teamed him up with certain characters. One of my favorites was Richie Rich and Casper, which of course had Richie Rich teaming up with Casper the Friendly Ghost, thus putting to rest those ugly rumors that Richie Rich is really, or Casper is really Richie Rich's ghost. They're not. They're separate beings. So that was a good one. Richie Rich and Cadbury, the Perfect Butler. That was another one where he regularly teamed up with his butler, Cadbury. There was also another favorite title, was Richie Rich Vaults of Mystery, which was kind of like an adventure adventure horror kind of Richie Rich book, as horror as it would get with Richie Rich. So that was always a title I enjoyed. So I'm drawing here Richie Rich, and really, as Gene's post made me think, I really haven't drawn much Richie Rich. I certainly never drew Richie Rich professionally. And there was an opportunity, believe it or not, for a short while, the Canadian company Joe Books, they had the license to the Harvey titles, and they published some Richie Rich material. My buddy Dan Parent, he got to draw some of that. I never got in there, so I never got the chance to draw any Richie Rich stuff, which is a shame, because I really would have. That's one of those bucket list things that I would have wanted to do. I think, I would have enjoyed drawing Richie Rich. Supposedly, Archie Comics came very, very close to purchasing the license to the Harvey characters, which would have been I would have campaigned hard to have gotten to work on those. That would have been great. Unfortunately, it did not happen, or maybe fortunately. I think while the license is out there, and I don't know who has it today, you never know. There might be a chance that somebody will scoop up the Harvey license, and they'll want to bring back some Richie Rich. There have been attempts. If you Google, you'll see there were some kind of updated versions of Richie Rich out there where he's drawn more realistically. I'm not digging my Richie Rich face, so I'm really tweaking this a lot. And like I said, this isn't a character I've drawn often. Also, as I'm drawing him here in front of you, I'm trying to get used to his proportions, which I hope I'm getting correctly. That's always the whenever you're drawing a new established character, you kind of have to take that character and take him apart. You have to deconstruct them and see, how does this character go together. It's not enough to just draw a person. It's not enough to just draw a short kid with a big giant head. It's gotta look like Richie Rich. Now, as I said, I was a big Richie Rich fan growing up. And of course, when you're a kid, at least when I was a kid, I wasn't really paying attention to the artists who was working on this stuff. I knew there were different artists working, because the books, the books would look different when they were drawn by different people. And there were some times when, I would prefer it looking a certain way. So I knew those were the artists that I was enjoying, even though I may not have known them by name until later. Probably the two that I enjoyed the most, the first was Steve Mufadi, and I don't know enough about Harvey history or Richie Rich history to know if he was the first Richie Rich artist, but he certainly did a lot of Richie Rich early on. And you might be able to recognize his stuff because he drew like the really young looking Richie Rich, big head, but also big eyes, kind of a real babyish looking Richie Rich. So I'm gonna guess that his stuff was largely in the 60s. I think the guy who did a lot of it while I was reading it, though, was another favorite, a guy named Warren Kramer, and he was great. I think he drew the quintessential Richie Rich that we all think of when we think of Richie Rich. So Richie's got this big hair. He's got this blonde hair parted sharply down the middle, comes out here, and then he's got round eyes. He's got the chubby cheeks. He's got a little upturned nose. He has thin eyebrows high up. So, all right, we're getting there. I think we're getting close. So this becomes my Richie Rich. What do you think? Does it look like Richie Rich? This was a real experiment for me. Looks like sometimes they really blow out his forehead and his chubby cheeks here. Trying to see if Yeah, that other ear doesn't really poke out much from what I see. Looks like they kind of play with his proportions from drawing to drawing, and I'm looking at a lot of Richie Rich on my Google over here. So, and his jacket, just to make it look Richie Richier. I'm going to fill that in, make it black. He always wears the black jacket, the little blue shorts. Take out some of the construction lines. And he's got the little white boots, which I guess is how they envisioned little rich kids as dressing once upon a time. And on the little boots, he's got, I guess those are laces or little bows. Well, whatever they are, I'll give it to him. And not a whole lot of anatomical detail on these legs, but that's fine. That's how Richie is. So that is pretty much, bring down his jacket a little more. That is my Richie Rich. What do you think? Does it look like Richie? What do you think, Gene? Do I get the thumbs up? I think I may have to practice my Richie a little more. I want to be ready for if that Richie Rich license ever comes back anywhere. All right, what do you think? Does he look okay? Who are your favorite Harvey characters? Please let me know in the comments section below. Anybody you'd like me to draw, always let me know. Let me know in the comments. So, and if you enjoyed this, please click like. Feel free to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure if you have subscribed that that you are still subscribed, and keep checking back. New videos all the time. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. What do you think? Does he look okay? Should I ink him? Should I color him? Again, let me know in the comments below. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next video. As always, keep drawing, everybody. Keep drawing.